Well, howdy, folks, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Legends Masters Series, last qualifier weekend, last match of the day. I'm Justin Larson, and I'm thrilled to be here. How are you doing, man?
I'm fantastic.
Also, who are you?
I'm Charmer,
Okay.
and I'm also fantastic. I could not be more excited for
This is a good one.
finals. This is going to be great. Karakondzhul,
And
Third-
an absolute tear today.
yeah, third straight top 8 appearance for our qualifiers. Has not lost a game today. Has swept both of his matches. Is
Yes.
going to be paired up against Traitor-Joe,
Yes.
who is a force to be reckoned with in the tournament scene for this game.
And these are two players who have brought some very powerful decks with them today. Traitor-Joe with House Telvanni, Warrior, and Scout available. This is the first time we're going to see Telvanni today, actually. And Karakondzhul rocking Dagoth, Redoran, and Halalu. These are A-game players, A-game decks, playing for the title of the last champion of the Qualifier Series for the first Legends Master Series.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw with Karakondzhul, his lists are aggressive.
Yes.
They're a little bit more mid-rangey. They're not
Right.
like hyper aggro, like say something Dust or I like Pasta brought in the past.
Right.
But they're aggressive. I like that ban, getting rid of Halalu so it can't come underneath you. You're gonna take your slow, methodical play against these control decks like
Right.
we've seen all day long. Does Karakondzhul even lose a game here? I mean, he hasn't so far today.
It's tough to say, right? Like, I can't count out Traitor-Joe because Traitor-Joe has been one of the most consistent players this game has ever seen. Has innovated some decks that have affected the entire meta. But Karakondzhul also seems to be just like a hurricane right now, and I would be really afraid if I was Traitor-Joe.
Yeah, so Traitor-Joe is going to start off with Scout. That's an entirely reasonable start.
Yeah.
Karakondzhul's starting with Halalu.
I too like to win games.
Well, we'll see if that ends up coming to fruition. I like Traitor-Joe's opener if he can find a Drain Vitality. 2 Scouts reports will help with that. If he cannot find a Drain, though, things could get a little bit rough.
Wordwall actually kinda countered by Moragtong Aspirant.
Yeah, because it turns out the Aspirant wants to be an assassin like Naryu.
Wants to be an assassin like Naryu.
Wants to be an assassin like Naryu.
Interesting.
So another thing I'm excited for coming later in this series is I want to see Traitor-Joe piloting his warrior list, again, the one that he kind of like pioneered, against another mid-range, like a mid-range mirror. It's going to be wonderful.
I agree. So we see the Sanctuary Pet come down, Shackles Naryu's protege.
That's actually a really good top deck for Karakondzhul.
absolutely.
It feels bad to use both tokens, but I think Raiding Party to remove the pet
Right, it's the right play.
is the right play because you protect that Mournhold Trader.
I agree. Testing for safety. You know what? You could even Earthbound Spinner. It's not insane.
I mean, you could if you had 4 Magicka.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, it's not the first time that we've messed up the Magic account.
Yeah.
Hello, Garnig. So yeah, the Raiding Party does come down.
Absolutely.
Not the best Raiding Party in the world, but protecting that Mournhold Trader in a
You still
Scout
have 6
matchup
power
like
on the
this.
board. I mean, you can Word Wall, upgrade a Soul Tear. It's not really where you want to be if you're Traitor-Joe. But Karakondzhul isn't putting a ton of pressure out there.
Not yet, but to Karakondzhul's benefit here, that's kind of what he's done every game, right? It's aggressive lists, but it's been like that slow, methodical.
Yeah.
I've got just enough threat, just enough pressure. I don't overcommit to the board.
Yeah, that's fair. Karakondzhul's next turn gonna be pretty heavily informed by what he draws. Right now, looking at Rift Thane, Stormcloak Vanguard, not very exciting.
Traitor-Joe took a little bit of time passing the turn there, which makes me wonder if there was a consideration to
Drop a second Word Wall.
either that or Soul Tear that Sanctuary Pat back.
That makes sense.
Grizzly Gourmet here is a fantastic pickup for
I agree.
Karakondzhul.
I mean, there's got to be some temptation to just play it right now. Make more assassins like Naryu.
It looks like that's what he's going to do, but I'm a little surprised. I personally liked Earthbone. It pushes through the wall.
Yeah.
It's more attack on the board, and then if
Oh wow, that territory.
if Sanctuary Pet were to make a return at some point, whether it's from a Necromancer or something, then you could have just made it not be a factor.
Yeah, I'm surprised by pretty much everything that just happened. Mortal Guardian coming down.
maybe the train of thought was, you know, if I get rid of Word Wall, then they can't Uprising it. They can't play, you know, A Night to Remember.
Yeah.
You know, we know Traitor-Joe has a second Word Wall, but from
Right.
Karakondzhul's point of view, that might have been the line of thinking there.
Can you imagine a world where those
Oh,
necromancers ransack, where these 3 necromancers start recurring
The Nords must
as
take
Mortal
back.
Guardian?
I can't. Not when you've got a spider.
I can't.
Yeah, not when you've got a spider like that.
Okay.
Karakondzhul again looking really strong here. Drain Vitality. Oh, comes in, might ruin the party. That was exactly what Traitor-Joe needed to get back into this.
Word Wall, upgrade Soul Tear, Word Wall, upgrade Drain Vitality.
That's one path. You could actually see an argument for Ring into Necromancer on a Word Wall. Puts the guard up, right? Like, yeah, you're going to make more aspirants or whatever, but it doesn't matter. You're going to drain next turn.
Yeah. Ransack lethal. Has Ransack ever killed you on the ladder?
It has.
Yeah, me too.
During the open beta, there was a time when Prophecy Assassin was very popular.
Yes.
That list ran Ransack.
Yeah.
I've lost a Ransack off of breaking my opponent's runes. Like, if you think losing to Lightning Bolt feels bad, you know, being at 2 or something and then losing to a Ransack feels even worse.
Feels pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are soul tearing back. My money's still on Word Wall.
Yeah, I mean, if you're using Soul Tear, I think it's got to be Word Wall because now you're going to be making a 2/6 guard.
Yeah. Word Wall, Ring, Drain. Leaves you with a 0/1 Mudcrab Merchant.
You know, if I drop both Word Walls, I'm not even sure that I use the Ring for Drain.
No?
Yeah, because if you drop 2 Word Walls, you might be saying to yourself, all right, they might have like 1 silence, but they don't have 2. I'm going to soak at least 4 damage. I might go down, but then if they further develop the board, then I can catch them kind of reaching.
Wow, instead we see Mournhold Guardian.
All right. I'm not going to pretend to say that I saw that coming.
Yeah. This is an interesting play from Joe.
I am not going to pretend like I saw that coming.
Right.
And that's got to feel really bad because of that Ransack or the Earthbone.
Saving the ring charge does mean that when this wall dies this turn, Necromancer brings back the wall, upgrades the Drain Vitality again, and then you Drain Vitality everything away.
Yeah.
But you're taking 4. I'm not big on taking 4.
You're taking at least 4. Again, Earthbone and or Ransack can chew through quite a bit there.
That's fair. Push another 3. If you take...
I mean, you could push 4. If you decide that you want to trade, use the Earthbone on the Word Wall instead of the 2/1, right?
Yeah.
And just trade 1 Aspirant and your Mudcrab Merchant into the 4/3. You still push the other 4.
Yeah.
The Aspirant replaces itself.
Yep.
I mean, your board still dies to Drain Vitality the next turn, but...
You're that much closer to winning.
Yeah, I mean, you get your opponent at 8. You have the Ransack for more reach.
The forest will not
Looks like that's exactly what Karakondzhul is going to do. This is a
Prophecy,
pretty big prophecy
Fighter
because it
Skilled Recruit keeps him at 10.
If I fall,
saves 2 health,
claim me.
I want to be an assassin. Like
but 2 health
Narn.
might just be enough to matter.
It might.
Karakondzhul is going to need some help.
Yeah. Help's on the way in the form of a Word Wall, Drain Vitality. Or just Night to Remember. Although with 3 Necromancers in hand, I'd be kind of interested in playing them out. You should just start smashing face with the giant bat.
Yes, 100% there.
Shadowmare.
Not only do you want to get the health now, but you really want that bat to die so you can just keep re-hitting it.
That is true. And that's the position Karakondzhul knows he's in. Can I afford to kill that giant bat?
You know, that Shadowmere with the Haunted Manor on the board, interesting pickup.
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal. He's going to be able to connect with some charge damage.
Unless Shadowmere becomes a mummy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's not a dire need to Necromancer anything we've seen hit the discard piles so far. So playing an Orc and a Death Priest,
not unreasonable.
Not unreasonable.
And Traitor-Joe knows, too, that Karakondzhul is sitting on a Mudcrab card. Might be thinking, oh, this dude got Tazcat. Trader Joe, I definitely prefer Trader Joe's position here.
Yeah, Trader Joe weathered the storm long enough to find that drain.
Yeah.
If that drain did not show up,
Right.
right? If Trader Joe never found it, I think Karakondzhul like walks away with this one.
Yeah.
All right, so
Shadow.
Shadowmere is
Shadow Mummy.
Shadow Mummy.
And Karakondzhul now picking up a giant bat.
I like the bat.
Yeah.
I do.
Does mean 5 damage to the face. Territorial Viper. Gonna slow things down.
Yeah.
Necromancer has a lot of options.
Yeah, if it weren't for the presence of Viper or the spinners or things like that, I
Yeah.
would also really, really like Karakondzhul's position.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the position would be great if Trader Joe didn't have everything that he could possibly want.
They've no move.
Just like,
we
I'm
can't
really thin except for those
anticipate.
pounds of blubber on my body.
All right, so the Viper's coming down.
Yep.
Gonna take out a whole battalion. That is a dangerous noodle.
It is.
That battalion fell asleep,
Yes.
and a snake got in their boot. There's a snake in my boot.
I've
bit
heard
'em.
people say that before.
The Skulk, if it goes unanswered, could be a really impactful play.
Did you know that somebody poisoned the water hole?
I did know that, yeah.
Yeah.
Might explain my poor performance today. So, yeah, lots of answers from Trader Joe for that Skulk.
Absolutely.
Rise, my
that-
Necromancer is the obvious play.
Yeah, that being said, Karakondzhul, just trying, yeah, trying to find a little bit of reach.
Now we've seen Karakondzhul. I was just about to say Karakondzhul's done everything quickly, conceding apparently part of that.
All right.
Trader Joe taking their first win in today's grand finale.
And the first win anybody has had against Karakondzhul.
Karakondzhul's not lost a game until right now.
Yeah. To Karakondzhul's defense, though,
Yeah.
it took one of the best players
In the world.
playing one of the best decks
In the world.
in the game
Yeah.
to do it.
Right.
But congratulations, Trader.
Trader Joe ahead 1-0 now in this series. Karakondzhul, Trader Joe. This is the highest end of Legends of competitive gaming you can watch. We are watching it play out today. This is our last match, this last series of games for our qualifying rounds for the QuakeCon Master Series tournament.
Well,
Or
maybe,
is it?
maybe or maybe not. So, with the way things have kind of shaken up with the points, there's going to be a 3-way tie for the third and fourth spot for
Okay.
QuakeCon, right?
Okay.
So, Fierce Infinity
Yes.
is going to get in on points.
Yes.
But we've got this tie between Mazaboom, Frogger, and TDC Jason.
Okay.
So at some point,
Mhm.
there's going to be some playoff matches
Okay.
to round out our crew at QuakeCon.
That's even more exciting.
Yeah. So
Follow us on Twitter. These things will be released, as the information comes through.
yeah, as we know more, we'll let you know more.
Yes.
But keep in mind, there are still some things to be decided as far as who makes it to QuakeCon. There's also still some games to be played in our finals.
Oh yeah. We have
Trader
a
Joe
lot of exciting stuff
Yeah.
still coming between these two top-notch players.
up 1-0.
Mhm.
Now that you've won with Scout,
Yeah.
what do you bring to the table if you're Joe?
I'm going to Disneyland. Woo! Okay, if I'm Trader Joe and I just ran the house with Scouts, fairly fair to say. I'm playing Telvanni. I have not been allowed to play Telvanni yet. I'm going to play Telvanni.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. You just had a really impactful win with Scout. You
Yeah.
kind of knocked Karakondzhul off of the momentum that he had.
Absolutely.
Telvanni's similar to Scout.
Right.
Why not queue it up?
Absolutely.
And we kind of said before, the Warrior deck is going to be very draw dependent, right?
It's kind of the odd man out in that list.
Aggressive decks, mid-range decks like
Right.
that. So who gets the ring matters a lot.
Huge. Huge.
Who has a better draw matters a lot.
Right.
You don't want, I mean, it's kind of a coin flip, right? You don't want to leave everything up to that.
Plus, there's something to be said about, look, I'm Trader Joe. People played a deck called Joe Warrior because of me.
Yeah, if you want
If
to
I'm
win.
going to take this home, I'm already guaranteed the spot at QuakeCon. I'm already going to go play for $50,000. I want to win with my Warrior deck at the end.
Well, it looks like Trader Joe agrees because
Sweet.
Telvanni is what is on deck.
Now we've not seen anybody play Telvanni today, have we?
No, it's been banned, and rightfully so. Karakondzhul decided to load up the Dagoth deck.
This is the really aggressive Dagoth deck.
Has a fantastic opening hand. However, Joe has all of the right answers at all of the right times. So we have a Harpy to stop the Skulk. Karakondzhul can develop Withered Hand Cultist here, but Traitor-Joe not as impacted by that because of Black Hand Messenger.
This is a pretty epic battle. I mean, House Telvanni making its debut for today's tournament series against House Dagoth. I mean, this is light and dark. This is Dagoth. Oh. Go ahead.
Fighter of the Night Goth.
That's right.
So, real quick, I want to highlight what's going on in the game. Traitor-Joe actually has a really tough decision to make. You can take out the Skulk, but then you're leaving the Withered Hand on the board. The other option is you could trade 2 into the Withered Hand and play Black Hand Messenger, but then you have to deal with the Skulk running amok.
I think he gets Skulk off the board.
I mean, Skulk is a safe play, but you, with that Word Wall, with the Greybeard Mentor, you might only have to deal with him getting 1 trigger. Looks like Traitor-Joe agrees, though. He says, you know what, I'm just going to put some damage on this.
It does make it a little awkward to hit the Withered Hand Cultist like that.
Yeah. Traitor-Joe's probably banking on, I'm going to play Greybeard Mentor next turn. I can play it into the field. If I've got 2 damage on the Withered Hand, I maybe put Karakondzhul in a tough spot.
Absolutely.
I like this play by Karakondzhul. You're probably going to ditch the Aspirant because it's not helping you at this stage.
Right. I want to be turned into more cards like Narnia.
Absolutely.
And Reeve and Ash Berserker are just 2 absolute powerhouses. In fact, Mummify might have to be the answer to Reeve, and that's not a great answer.
Yeah. Reeve, fun fact if you haven't been playing the game since open beta, was the recipient of a buff at one time.
That is true.
Reeve used to be a 2/5 and saw almost no play.
Yeah.
Got bumped to 3/5 and now sees a pretty considerable amount of play. There's a few unique legends that have had that treatment. Brynjolf was originally a 4/4.
Yes.
Went to a 4/5. And I mention it because with the balance patch that's coming early next week,
Duke Venom Dren.
Duke is going to go from a 4/4 to a 4/5.
Absolutely.
Duke only made 1 appearance in our qualifying
I don't think it got played.
No, we saw him.
Did it get played?
Yeah, he stuck on the board. Actually got to draw a card. It was in the Hlalu Slay control list.
That's right. Was that Mazaboom?
I believe so.
Okay.
We might see more of him at QuakeCon, though.
That would be pretty impressive. Every time we've seen these unique legendaries get buffed, they've become playable cards.
Yeah, it's so interesting how impactful just 1 stat point can be.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. Reeve, just 1 more attack, world of difference.
No longer execute.
Brynjolf, 1 health, world of difference.
By the way, you haven't lived until you've had Brynjolf, Thieves Den, Master of Thieves, and Torval Crooks on the board at the same time. Let me tell you about 17 Magicka on turn 6. All right, so I like developing Reeve here. You know, Mummify, Sanctuary Pet, these are totally reasonable answers from Joe. But if you're Karakondzhul, you just need to push damage.
Yeah. Some players may have been tempted to develop Ash Berserker last turn, even more so because the Gambler had above 5 attack power. But the reason you develop Reeve is twofold. One,
Ice Storm.
It's an Ice Storm turn.
Yeah.
Reeve survives Ice Storm, so you still have 5 damage staring at your opponent.
Yes.
The other reason is Reeve is a snowball creature.
Right.
So the more it can attack, the more value you're going to get long term, and this has really put Traitor-Joe in kind of a bind. I still like Ice Storm. Looks like Traitor-Joe agrees because it gains you some health because your Black Hand Messenger dies on your turn.
Right. Gets
rid of most of the board. I like these follow-up plays by Karakondzhul, though.
I want to develop Corner Club Gambler, and I want to ditch the Mournhold Trader.
And you're probably going to Wordcrafter your Reeve, if I had to guess as well.
And what I like about this too is like knowing that Traitor-Joe's deck is full of effective removal. This presents 2 things that need to be removed.
Careful there, friend.
All right. Wow. So Karakondzhul instead decides to protect the Gambler. I got to think that's going to get mummified, and Reeve is going to get vipered here. I'm a little surprised that Reeve, being like out in the open like that, didn't get the ward, but it looks like Karakondzhul was more afraid of a second Ice Storm or maybe a Lightning Bolt. Though most Telvanni lists haven't been running Lightning Bolt lately.
That's true. You know, I've been actually taking it out a lot of my control lists lately.
Yeah. So checking out Trader Joe's list, he has removed Lightning Bolt.
Okay.
So
God, if you're Karakondzhul, what are you hoping to draw next turn? You want to trigger your Ash Berserker. Level 2 drain.
yeah,
This is a disaster. That
and Nord Firebrand is not the way
not where you want to be.
that you're going to trigger that Ash Berserker.
You just dump everything? What's the benefit for holding Nord Firebrand? I don't have his list. So
Perhaps you're hoping it gets Death Priested and it gets upgraded to a 2/2.
that's a good plan. That's a great plan.
Realistically, though, when you are thinking about it, you're probably waiting to maybe remove a guard.
Rise, my servant. Observe.
Necromancer on Mentor on level 3 drain Vitality. That's a good card. That is a good card. Okay, Hand of Dagoth's pretty good here, actually. There's no answer in Trader Joe's hand. And he's going to draw a card. That was
a
huge.
Massive top deck.
Absolutely huge.
Or come to die.
6-house amulets, you know, not ideal.
I mean, there are better things that you would have hoped to have drawn, but
Doppelganger, I mean, in a clutch, it can copy Sanctuary Pet. Allows, in a following turn, Sanctuary Pet and Territorial Viper to kill it.
yeah, I mean, I would have actually really liked seeing Sanctuary Pet kill the Ash Berserker and then Doppelganger copy a Necromancer to bring it
Yep.
back on the other side.
Yep.
Shackle that hand.
That makes sense. You see Doppelganger. You do see it tackling the Necromancer, I believe.
The Night Mother will
Into
guide
Blackhand Messenger, into Viper. Okay.
All
No
right.
life gain, but
No life gain, but you do get rid of it outright.
yeah.
It's also completely reasonable.
Steel Scimitar. So this is 4 burst. This is something.
Yeah, 1 attack away from giving that Firebrand ward.
And Parthenax, the draw for Trader Joe. Parthenax not likely to matter, right? Karakondzhul has practiced Concede Efficiency.
Yeah, I think that Devase Experiments is what matters more in Trader Joe's hand right now, along with that Genius Path Mage.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to highlight how beautiful that Experiments is in Premium.
Absolutely. The lightning coming down, or magic, or whatever that is. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it says a lot about your hand if Parthenax might be the least
They've
interesting
no
card
move
you're sitting
we
on.
can't
Yeah.
anticipate.
Look, I don't even think it's wrong to slap Mentor's Ring on on my Black Ant Messenger. Maybe give that one more turn.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you would want to fear, specifically against this Dagoth lineup, is giving somebody too much burst.
Yeah.
If it was one of the other aggressive lists that Karakondzhul has at his disposal, like Halalu, then I might consider just ramming it. And it looks like he's going to anyway. It's a lot of health to gain.
Mentor's Ring is a hell of a card.
Hand of Dagoth.
And Karakondzhul's seen enough. Trader Joe already up 2-0. He's 1 win away from winning today's qualifier.
He's also 1 win away from sweeping the player who had
I
not
know,
lost
I
all
know.
day.
And he gets to do it with his warrior deck.
Oh, how the momentum has shifted.
That is
right?
totally true. I mean, Trader Joe is a guy who, I mean, to our mistake, we did not cast in his previous appearance.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on.
Because
that
we
first
assumed he was going to get further. And now we're seeing why we made that assumption as he just tears it up today.
He's got warrior left. It's kind of his deck,
It's his
right?
thing. It's his deal.
thing.
Right.
But he's got to win against 3 other aggressive decks.
Dagoth, Redoran, Halalu. Warrior just needs to beat one of them.
Yeah, if I'm Karakondzhul, I like the Dagoth matchup against warrior. I think
Yeah.
it's the most resilient of the 3.
Hand of Dagoth,
Um,
greater than sign, Sword of Revenge.
Yeah, House Halalu, I think, can certainly high roll and win that matchup. I think that
Sure.
your wild card left, assuming Trader Joe, excuse me, doesn't just outright win this.
Yeah.
I think your wild card matchup is going to be that Warrior versus House Redoran.
Yeah.
They're very similar,
I agree.
and so that is the biggest coin flip in
I totally
my mind.
agree. This is an exciting one, man. Watching these two players go at it we are ringside today. at a huge match. Two heavyweights duking it out.
And we get to see your favorite style of gameplay, which is aggressive lists versus aggressive lists, and I know how much you love and enjoy that.
I will tell you something, man. These past 4 weeks, being part of this tournament experience has taught me a new respect for these aggressive lists.
Yeah.
I have to admit that. I'm a control player. I'm a combo player. I have loved watching these small decisions that these players make, just absolutely determined games. And I've had a great time doing this with you.
The aggressive community forgives you.
That doesn't sound like the aggressive community.
No, not at all. Not
All
at
right.
all.
Let's hop on in. Karakondzhul on Dagoth. Traitor-Joe on, I think it's fair to say, Joe Warrior.
Yeah, and Joe likes his opening hand, and I don't blame him.
No.
For an aggro
The ring
slash
of
mid-range
magic.
mirror, you have the ring. You have Wind Keep, which is one of the best openers for the field lane.
Yes.
Dragon Tail gets bigger if stuff gets played.
Yep.
Barrow Stalker can help you like stabilize or rebound.
Yep.
Scimitar for surprise trades. Traitor-Joe has all of the tools to get a very, very hot start in this
Yes.
matchup.
You're looking to curve out from this kind of stuff into your 5-cost creatures. Charges, your Sowers of Revenge.
Meanwhile, Karakondzhul doesn't exactly have a bad hand. There are certainly some great tools here.
Absolutely.
I like Earthbone. I like Harpy as a great like slow down the tempo play.
Earthbone could be absolutely devastating depending on what happens with this Steel Scimitar.
Yeah, Karakondzhul's list as well is worth kind of worth highlighting because it's got a little bit more prophecy in it,
It
than
does.
Trader Joe's list.
It does.
That could turn the tide of this.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever imagine that we would see Stormcloak Vanguard potentially trading into a Windkeep Spellsword on the potentially last game?
Of the living.
Now I think it's definitely the play.
Close ranks, let nothing through.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
So there's going to be a lot of back and forth here.
Yeah.
I think if I'm Trader Joe, I really like going with the double 2-drops
Mhm.
in this position.
Yeah, I have to agree. Dragentail Saber coming down big.
The longer the odds, the sweeter the
Not likely to survive, but still
I
coming down big.
slay the unworthy.
And
Yeah.
Old Velati Assassin.
Because now you basically say, like, pick your poison, right?
Right.
You can either pull 4 damage off the board, or you can deal with the lethal
Right.
that lets me rally.
I like this. This makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think here... Oh, that's
Of course,
It's not
I'm
gonna
on
work
your
out.
side.
that's really interesting.
Garneg kind of not really a relevant card in this match.
I mean, it could be later. Karakondzhul does have a little bit higher top end with the presence of Encano,
Yeah.
right? So you do potentially deny that, but that's about it.
Now this Earthbone Spinner is kind of a big deal in terms of eking out value. We are just glued to this game right now. Goblin Skull making a turn 5 appearance, not really where you want to be at as Karakondzhul. But I think Karakondzhul is just saying, I can still race this. Gonna get rallies onto Garnag. The draw is Orc Clan Captain, kind of a huge deal. Do you just drop Garnag and rally onto the Captain?
I think it depends on what you think your game plan is right now, because you don't have a lot of resources.
Right.
And I don't feel confident that if I'm breaking runes and giving cards to Karakondzhul,
Yeah,
that I can for sure win with what I have on the board by racing.
that's fair.
So yeah, I could see where you would want to maybe preserve the captain, but conversely, the captain kind of like ensures that I have control of that field lane.
Yeah,
But Goblin Skulk is likely going to be fetching Nord Firebrand.
that is true.
That lets somebody come back, refight for part of that field lane. Like it's
Especially
not,
since we know that the Morkel Gatekeeper, Earthbone Spinner can both facilitate those trades.
yeah,
We
it's not an
stand
easy
united.
decision.
Found you.
And
We must
Interesting.
protect
Yeah.
the Night
Little
Mother.
surprised by that only because if the clan captain had come down earlier,
yeah,
you wouldn't have broken an additional rune, would have put Karakondzhul at 21.
right.
So that tells me that he wanted to get that trigger on the clan captain. Probably to keep it out of range of a charging Firebrand. Unfortunately, Morkel Gatekeeper can still trade in there.
Well, and Karakondzhul's draw for the turn was a Nord Firebrand. This is Joe trying to figure out how much damage he can push with what he has left.
Yeah, personally, I'm a really big fan of Morkel Gatekeeper on a Firebrand because it trades into the Clan Captain, also leaves a guard over there. The problem is that you have no other plays there, right?
Right.
Like you don't saturate your Magicka well at all.
Right.
Earthbone is another option, pulls a lot of damage off the board.
Yep.
Douchnik could be an option paired with one Nord Firebrand, puts a guard out there and could pull either the lethal creature off the board or the 5/2 off the board.
Yeah. Yeah, Karakondzhul appears to be going back and forth on the Earthbone versus Douchnik.
Yeah. Personally, I think of those two, I like the Douchnik the most because it causes the most speed bumps.
The forest will not
Looks like
suffer your
Karakondzhul has
presence.
committed and is choosing the Earthbone Spinner. Yep, I like that. The draw is Candlehearth Brawler. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's a really big draw for Traitor-Joe if he wants to try to continue to push his advantage. It's essentially going to be a 3 attack brawler because of the rally.
Right. There is some question about Karakondzhul's High Prophecy count. You want to kill the Skulk. I think that goes without saying.
Should have been more words.
There could be a prophecy that screws up your Windkeep Spell Sword.
Confound
Yeah,
Choose to swing with it
I think
first.
that's an acceptable loss in that
punish.
scenario, though.
Okay, swings again.
Come on,
Prophecy.
I'll even
Candlehearth
let you
Brawler.
swing first.
Karakondzhul going down to 12.
Yeah, so Traitor-Joe is out of resources, but I don't think it matters. That was a very, very good turn. That Candlehearth might have been
A huge draw.
one of the best things he could have drawn outside of, Wood Orc Headhunter, maybe, Sower, maybe.
Now, Karakondzhul can develop Morkel Gatekeeper and Douchnik Yell Archer this turn. Can do some work clearing up this board. Nord, Morkel, swing with the spinner, kills the Candlehearth. And Douchnik then blocks up.
Forest is
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're
I-
going
I-
to use the Leaf Lurker.
I forgot that's a singleton, right? Just
Yeah, it's
one
the only
Leaf
Leaf
Lurker in
Lurker.
the deck.
Oh, what a good
Oh
top
my
deck
God.
for Traitor-Joe.
Oh my God.
Traitor-Joe is going to get the rally effect here.
Yep. This is so close to the end.
Can essentially put Karakondzhul to 2 if he wants.
Yep.
There's
There's no other. You have to.
I can't find an argument for not taking him to 2.
Yeah.
Trading, in my opinion, trading into, well, yeah, I was gonna say maybe you just get rid of the Leaf Lurker. It's only 1 damage. I think having him at 3 is the same as 2,
Is
given
it?
the lineup. Yeah, because you're not, you're not gonna win with, well, Battle Rage Orc is a potential, right? If I remember correctly, I think Traitor-Joe does have like 1 Battle Rage Orc.
Traitor-Joe.
No,
Warrior,
he's taking
no
him out.
Battle Rage
His-
Orc. Candlehearth Brawler though. Candlehearth Brawler's in the
Yeah.
list.
His old list used to run, I think, 1 Battle Rage as an extra trigger for Wood Orc
What do
Headhunter,
you
but
hope-
it has since come out for Ashes.
So what are you hoping
Reapers.
to draw here? I mean, Soul of Revenge, Underworld Vigilante, Wood Orc Headhunter. Wood Orc Headhunter's not going to have charge. And the draw is Circle Initiate. That's not good enough.
I'm very surprised that Karakondzhul put 2 guards in front of the Underworld.
Yeah, especially since
Because-
we know there are charge creatures.
I am ready to join the circle.
Because, yeah, I feel like there are more charge creatures in that list
Mudcrab Merchant.
than there are...
You cannot
Silence.
play Mudcrab Merchant if you're Karakondzhul.
No, not in this situation.
No.
Not until you found some way,
Suddenly,
shape,
Lightning
or
Bolt,
form.
Crushing Blow. That's what that traitorous crab thing is offering.
Yeah, Karakondzhul is riding a fine line here. It is worth noting, even though he runs a traditionally aggressive list,
Yeah.
there is some way for him to get life back. He has Queen Baronzia.
That's right.
He has Brynjolf in his list.
Mm.
He has Hand of Daggeth.
Yeah.
There are plenty of tools available for him to get right back into this.
There is a clock. There is a very real clock. Every turn that he's drawing cards is dangerous.
Wow, Reeve. I was going to say Reeve would be a gamble in my mind.
You have to lay down that Morkel Gatekeeper.
Let me.
Yeah, I really felt like the play here was going to be not just Gatekeeper, but also like Daggerfall.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm on your side.
And the draw for Traitor-Joe is Haunting Spirit. That's not going to do it. Haunting Spirit's super awkward, actually.
I mean, it's not terrible. You know that you're likely going to draw a creature the following turn. if you develop it in the shadow lane, you can get rid of the guard and have it buff whatever you draw the
Absolutely.
The next turn.
I mean, in some ways, it works because it makes Candlehearth Brawler a lethal draw now.
All right, so Karakondzhul has, with the Encano in hand,
Yeah.
A bunch of damage, not enough for lethal.
A bunch. That is some serious great calculation on your...
Yeah, it's from the metric system.
Oh, that's probably why I didn't get the reference.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're looking at 19 damage with the Encano.
Yeah.
You can go as high as 21 if you want to play the Orc Clan Captain, if you really want numbers. The
And
point was, it has a bunch, but not lethal.
Right.
For our metric folk.
Mm.
I don't think that you push.
No.
I was going to say, I kind of like playing the Encano to kill the spirit. You make sure you get no value out of it.
Yeah.
And then maybe even develop the Orc Clan Captain so that your Shadow Lane is stacked and then try to set up a lethal next turn.
Yep.
Another option, if you want to save the Encano, you could go with your 5/5 and your Daggerfall and an Orc Clan Captain to try to set up for next turn.
Yeah.
Encano just feels safer to me.
I agree.
We stand united.
Looks like setting up. I just...
But I really feel...
no planet where I swing here.
I have
Wow.
Young Mammoth.
things on my mind.
All right.
And the draw from Joe is Windkeep Spellsword. That's gonna be it.
Yeah, Traitor-Joe is going to need some prophecy help
This day will be
in the form of like Morkel Gatekeeper.
Yep.
I mean, he was rewarded, but that was a risky play by Karakondzhul.
Incredibly risky. We do have a prophecy. It is a circle initiate. That's gonna be Karakondzhul taking this game back. There's no series of 2 prophecies. It's gonna stop this.
Yeah, because of the breakthrough on Encano,
Yeah.
even if a Gatekeeper came up here, Encano would run it over. Maybe...
go. Wow. So Karakondzhul says, "Hey, not so fast. I'm still in this. I earned my spot here. I'm gonna keep fighting."
Yeah, I mean, we did say up front we liked this list against the Warrior.
Absolutely.
It's a little bit more resilient, not surprised by the outcome.
Not at all.
And I'll be honest, I would have been shocked if after the way things had went today, Karakondzhul got swept after
That makes
being
sense.
on the roll.
That makes sense.
But now that his more favorable matchup is out of the way, Karakondzhul now has to win with Halalu
Yeah.
and still has to win with Redoran. I'm really excited to see that Redoran matchup.
I
Because
do.
it's-
I really enjoy Redoran of all stripes, but in these aggressive decks in particular, sometimes they just high roll like crazy.
Yeah, and sometimes they do not. So
That's something we've seen happen several times in this tournament series.
yeah, where people like start with a Redoran, it loses,
Yeah.
they go with something else. They go back to Redoran, it loses, they go with something else, and then they win in the last game.
Right. Yeah, if I'm Karakondzhul, I'm probably bringing the Redoran list.
I think that I would bring Halalu here. I feel a
Do
little
you?
bit, yeah, I feel a little bit better about Halalu. I'd like to get me to a game 5,
Yeah.
and then that, because again, the Redoran list it's not the Warrior list, but it's very close.
it
So
is.
it's like a coin flip.
I just feel like Halalu's unfavored against Warrior.
Interesting.
I believe it. Here's the thing. Unless you tech your Halalu deck with a lot of guards, right? Halalu is not as fast at racing as Warrior, as this Warrior deck is. And the Halalu decks play pretty poorly from behind.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
The reason that I think Karakondzhul specifically has a slight edge,
Mhm.
His Halalu list does run Giant Bat, right?
That is true.
His Halalu list also runs Cloud Rest Illusionist.
That's
He's
fair.
got some more defensive tools than a traditional Halalu list,
That
and
is
it's
fair.
because of those cards I feel like he's slightly favored in the Warrior matchup.
Well, let's find out as the Warrior takes on the Halalu deck right now. We got Traitor-Joe with the ring. Karakondzhul starting off strong with a 1-drop. This is going to be good.
Yeah, it's a great 1-drop. It's a great 2-drop.
Mhm.
Steel Scimitar, also fantastic.
Ald Velothi Assassin, by the way, looks like it's going to do some serious work here.
Yeah, the Assassin is likely going to just take control of that field lane and never give it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the curve, too. I mean, you have the opportunity to go Assassin into Spirit or Initiate, depending whichever is appropriate, into Bleak Coast Troll.
One thing that we also can't count out here as we talk about the Halalu matchup specifically,
Yeah.
Mudcrab Merchant can also just pull some crazy things out for you against the
slay
Warrior
the unknown.
matchup,
That is
right?
fair. And why do you suppose Traitor-Joe chooses to go Shadow?
I don't know. That's very surprising. The only thing I can think of is that maybe he just really wants a big, massive Bleak Coast Troll.
Okay, Joe kind of in a weird position here now. You could rally onto the Haunting Spirit, and that'd be great. Rallies onto the Bleak Coast Troll, kind of doing what you were talking about. Giant Bat and Steel Scimitar in Karakondzhul's hand might make the difference, like you alluded to earlier.
Yeah, whenever you're in these like mid-range mirrors or aggressive mirrors, just a little bit of life gain to throw off the numbers can often go a long way.
Yeah.
So something like Giant Bat, 2 health in trading, or in the case of charging off of mana, charging with Scimitar,
Absolutely.
4 damage, gain 4 health, can really swing things. It reminds me a lot of Dawnstar Healer.
Yeah.
Right? You mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Santos Vela's lists with Dawnstar Healer really helped last week.
That makes sense.
Kind of the same concept here.
That makes sense. So Trader Joe choosing to develop the Haunting Spirit says, I'm going to engage in this race.
Yeah, I mean, it looks wholeheartedly like Trader Joe is looking to just try to race this.
Orc Clan Captain might help facilitate that. We are not going to see Bat.
No, I think it's too early for Bat. Bat's one of those cards that, in my opinion, when you do run it in Hlaalu, it's your ace up your sleeve. You want to wait till it's going to have the biggest impact, whether that's getting rid of a big creature while gaining health. When you're in a tight race, like right now, it looks like Joe and Karakondzhul are just going to go flat out racing, right? There's not a lot of trading going on.
This race looks real bad for Trader Joe.
So if that's the case, Giant Bat, little bit of health gain, puts things out of reach, messes with numbers.
Yeah.
I like holding on to it here.
Speaking of messing with numbers, Trader Joe's are rapidly decreasing.
That's going to be a big troll this turn, though.
It is. I don't know how much good that can do, though.
I agree. I feel like you almost wanted that to land on your win keep so that you could maybe start contesting over there.
Yeah, honestly, I was into Orc Clan Captain Circle Initiate this turn.
Yeah, I would have also, like, depending on which way the rally went, win keep and Circle Initiate, and then breaking that last rune might have helped me fight for that field lane.
Trader Joe recognizes that some trades need to be made here.
Oh, that Haunted Manor is going to be so good with that Bat and that Cliff Racer.
Yep.
That's a pretty solid pickup for Karakondzhul.
Yep. Yeah, I'm already really leaning towards Karakondzhul. You just push all this damage?
Yeah, I can't imagine a world where you don't just go face, knowing that you've got 2 charge creatures and a manor still in your hand.
That makes sense.
They don't run a lot of guards. They just pretty much have Sower. You've got an Earthbone to push past that as well.
Yep.
I'd feel really confident about my tools.
I agree.
The only one, I was going to say, the only trade you might consider here is if you run Marked Man into the 4-3, it means that you protect your Mournhold Trader, but I think I favor the damage.
Will not
Fair
suffer
enough.
your presence.
Takes the ward off there, makes it less of a free trade.
Yeah, I think that was honestly just more about the body than anything.
Okay.
I mean, the ward
Should have been more
doesn't matter when that was just going to eat makeshift defenses anyway, and let's be honest.
Every rally, by the way, has hit that Bleak Coast Troll.
Karakondzhul's not going to be trading into that win keep anytime soon.
No.
So to me, that was just all about putting that 3/2 body on the board.
After a certain point, like you don't. I don't know. I feel like Bleak Coast Troll is actually the worst target for these rallies.
Yeah, early on it might have been okay, but at this point, it's not helping.
No. I think Trader Joe knows how desperate his situation is right now.
You know, it's also worth pointing out we're only on turn 4,
Yeah.
and look how advanced the board state and the game state is.
That is true. That is definitely.
Like, this has been a fast-paced game.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Haunted Manor going to be nerfed in the near future.
Yes.
Having a huge impact thus far in the game.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking Hlaalu is going to be bad after the nerfs, might be something to consider.
Yeah.
The 2-1 helps, but the breakthrough from the Rift Thane is going to go a long way here, I think.
Pit line coming down. And look, Joe has an impressive board, but Cliff Racer. Okay. Morkel Gatekeeper's not bad.
Yeah, Morkel Gatekeeper actually saves some damage here.
It does. Well, does it?
I mean, right now you're not going to win this race. So I think you have to lose a creature in the field lane and save yourself from taking 3 damage.
Let nothing through.
I think Trader-Joe... I mean, look, Trader-Joe did just survive. Because otherwise he was dead. But...
Here's the thing. If Trader-Joe would have had like something with charge in his hand, you might have considered just plopping the body down, trying to survive. But if you don't put that other guard there, right? If you don't block the damage, breakthrough over the 3/1 gets you low.
Yeah.
The marked man gets you lower, and that Cliff Racer would have been lethal.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, this puts him potentially at 1.
Yeah, I can't imagine a scenario where you don't still just run this Cliff Racer home because you still have the bat.
Yeah. Let's do some quick math on the other side here.
Because you don't saturate very well here at 5 with the 3/3. I think you saturate with the bat, you send it home. Unless he trades, he was just doing some math. Maybe he's afraid of dying on the flip side, and he's just going to trade.
Goes face. So now without a guard in each lane, this is over. This is over. There's no lethal. Orc Clan for an additional 2 does not make 15 into 23.
Yeah, I think what Karakondzhul had identified there was had Trader-Joe had a Wood Orc Headhunter in the field lane,
Exactly.
he would have had lethal
Yes.
unless Karakondzhul hit like a Cloudrest Illusionist Prophecy or something.
Yes.
So that's why the bat
I agree.
ended up being the correct play.
And this is going to be it. Joe doesn't know it yet, but he is dead.
And that's why it pays to take your turns a little bit slower, even if you're an aggro player.
Absolutely.
You can identify those things. And we're going to be tied up. We're going to go to a Game 5 between 2 fantastic players.
Yeah, it's going to be Warrior versus Veteran for the title of champion this series.
I appreciate our competitors making us almost look like we know what we're doing, identifying that was going to be the key matchup in this series. Unlike last week where Santos Vela made me second guess everything.
Yeah. Well, Santos Vela, I think I've been thinking a lot about that. I think Santos Vela lost those first 2 intentionally to make the epic comeback.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I like Santos Vela doing wacky things anyway.
Yeah. Trader-Joe trying to figure this out. Probably imagining how he gets lethal next turn. Knowing he was so close. And suspecting he's probably dead. It's kind of heartbreaking, right? So close.
We stand united.
Not quite. And we know that this Cliff Racer is going to come down and tie up this series. Karakondzhul, Trader-Joe tied 2-2. 1 game left to determine who's going home with most of that prize, who's going to take the title, and who's going to be rubbing it in the other person's face come QuakeCon in a couple weeks.
I mean, there are bragging rights on the line. There is money on the line in this finals. And, it's like I said earlier, I'm really excited for when we finally do get to QuakeCon because there's going to be a lot of opportunities for these very interesting rematches, these kind of like rivalries to develop.
This has been an exciting one. I mean, we were both thinking that Trader-Joe is going to sweep through this finale. Trader-Joe has not swept through this finale. Karakondzhul coming back, showing why he didn't lose a game until earlier this match.
The back and forth of this series is as interesting to me as the back and forth of most of the games.
Yeah, this has been great.
The fervor, the passion.
The divine fervor.
Yeah,
that's the name of
that Karakondzhul had exhibited in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
right, sweeping both of his opponents. I thought, okay, Karakondzhul is clearly the favored going into this finals. Trader-Joe came out strong.
Yeah.
like we'd
strong
not
like,
seen,
like a bull.
Yeah, like we'd not seen anybody give it to Karakondzhul at all yet today.
Right.
Went up 2-0. We were like, all right, well, Trader-Joe is going to walk away, and now here we are, Game 5.
Trader-Joe with the Joe Warrior, Karakondzhul with the House Veteran list. This is for all the marbles today. This is for all the money. Well, most of the money.
Yeah.
One of these 2 players is going to win the title.
Listen, when you're a competitor, bragging rights almost matter as much as money.
I am not a competitor.
Yeah. Both these players are going to go to QuakeCon, but only one of
Yes.
them will go as the winner of
That
one
is
of the
true.
qualifiers.
A very elite group, 4 players will be the champions of their respective qualifying weekends. One of these players in the next few minutes is going to join that rank.
All right, so Karakondzhul has the Ring of Magicka.
That's what you want.
It is what you want.
No 2-drop, no 1-drop.
You know, it is worth noting that there were some of these, aggressive mid-rangey games
Yeah.
previously, if you go back and you watch, that were not decided by the ring. So while it is something that I think most players would say they want if
Yeah.
they were given the opportunity,
Yeah.
hasn't necessarily been a nail in the coffin.
I agree. Kind of an interesting decision here to ring out the veteran forward.
Arcade's beard. This day will be mine.
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting. Could pay off, though.
Yeah, that Steel Scimitar is pretty good. Karakondzhul, Traitor-Joe, Dawnbreaker, and Engineer.
Yeah, Withered Hand Cultist is not as good in this
Does-
particular matchup. It's essentially
Yeah,
just a
does nothing.
3-4 for 3, which is good enough in many cases, but
Sure. Might affect Mudcrab Merchant decisions down the road.
yeah, with only 2 ring charges left, I could have seen an argument made for saving them for Illusionist, saving them for Sower on the following turns.
That move I didn't see coming.
Confound you.
Well, I mean, the Steel Scimitar is great. It's a little uncomfortable. You wish you had 5 Magicka available if you're Karakondzhul here, so you can Steel Scimitar, Cloudress, Illusionist.
Yeah, it kind of makes me go back to that previous turn where
Yeah.
maybe Scimitar was the play, but then you wouldn't have had the Withered Hand, so
Yeah.
you would have fallen behind on board presence.
A little weird.
Yeah, despite having the ring here, Karakondzhul is playing from
A little
behind.
distraction might prove useful.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done there. Steel Scimitar here looks real solid.
It certainly does, but I also really like potentially just playing a couple of 2-drops.
Well, you play Orc-Clan Captain Barrowstalker, and you swing into the...
Into the Withered Hand Cultist,
Right.
you get your value trade. Barrowstalker will have 3 attack.
Right.
Makes that Illusionist awkward. I mean, we know there's a second Illusionist.
Right.
But if I was Traitor-Joe, I would strongly be considering that option.
Absolutely.
I got a feeling we're going to see a back and forth bloodbath in this field lane as players try
The
to
longer the odds,
snowball a
the
bit.
sweeter the victory.
And Traitor-Joe with the
smell
Triumphant
the
Jarl in hand
stench
is
of
probably
the
going to have to
living.
make some conscious decisions to trigger that.
Yeah, Traitor-Joe decided instead of going Clan Captain
Right.
Barrowstalker,
That's huge.
develops a Dragon Tail, and that's going to let Karakondzhul get right back into this because now the second Illusionist keeps the first one alive.
And you use the second one to oppose the Barrowstalker.
You can set up a value trade on the Barrowstalker and further protect it with Sower the following turn. Karakondzhul's hand was a little awkward, but is looking much better now.
Ald'Velathi Assassin. So, I mean, Ald'Velathi Assassin's kind of perfect in the sense that it's something to play. I think you strap the Steel Scimitar onto that Barrowstalker.
It's kind of a tough call because on the one hand you want to keep it alive.
Yep.
But you don't want to gain too much health too early.
You don't, but look, I mean, you got a Triumphant Jarl in your hand. Play to your strengths. Play to what you got going on. This is all you have going on.
Yeah, with the York Clan Captain and the Steel Scimitar, you can safely get that thing up to 5, not break a rune.
Right.
It does look like
Wrong place.
at least the Steel Scimitar is coming down,
Slay the unworthy.
and the Assassin is going to set up control of the field lane.
Yep.
So of the options available, I think that one was probably the best for Traitor-Joe.
Absolutely.
And then we go right into Karakondzhul having more decisions to make.
2 Stormcloak Vanguards and a Steel Scimitar is an interesting set of cards to have sitting on turn 5.
I actually like that much better than the Sower play. Steel Scimitar lets your Illusionist stay alive,
Yeah.
trade into the Barrowstalker.
Yeah.
The Vanguards can either get rid of the Assassin or the Clan Captain. I like getting rid of the Assassin to set up Sower in the field.
Sure.
Does mean that Jarl's going to trigger, unfortunately.
Interesting.
Wow.
They kept the lethal creature alive. Do you swing with it? I'd be super tempted to.
I mean, I think you do. You're playing an aggressive deck.
Yeah.
You got a 50-50
It's
shot
tough.
of it landing on your Jarl that you're going to play anyway.
Yeah. That is tough, though. Interestingly, I think the play might be Jarl first and hope to hit it on the charge creature, because those rallies on charge creatures are so much more valuable than rallies on... Maybe I'm thinking too narrowly.
Yeah. I mean, one of the other reasons I think I'm comfortable with attacking here is you've seen 2 illusionists come down, right?
Yeah, that is true.
So
That's the prophecy you are most concerned with.
yeah, of the stuff that you don't want to run into, you're probably safe. I mean, that would be
Yeah.
really backbreaking if you swung and
makes
the
sense.
third one popped out, but you're probably safe.
Probably. They mostly come out at night.
Yeah. Giving your
Mostly.
opponent another card could be problematic, but
Yeah.
they've already got more cards than you to begin with.
Yeah.
And you know at least 2 of them are 5/5s.
Right.
Should have been more.
Chooses to
work.
swing.
All right.
Circle Initiate, Haunting Spirit. Draws with the Jarl, Underworld Vigilante, huge Earthbound Spinner. Great against Sower. Because, I mean, Karakondzhul just jams Sower here, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You should.
Well, and given the way this has worked out, then, I think it's Circle Initiate, Earthbound Spinner, or Haunting Spirit, Earthbound Spinner, and you take that 6/1 off the board. You just say, hey, I'm racing, I'm never going back over that lane.
It's going to be a tight race. If it goes into a blind race like that and Karakondzhul does not hit a prophecy, I think it favors Traitor-Joe.
Yeah.
Because of the presence of the Vigilante.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Woodorc Headhunters are also in the list as well.
I agree, it's huge. That rally hit the Underworld Vigilante.
You know, we've already seen some lethals
Yeah,
from
Lucky.
Vigilante catching some rallies.
absolutely. Circle Initiate, Earthbound Spinner. This is huge.
I
Now,
mean,
there's some risk to just throwing away the Earthbound Spinner to get damage off the board. But I like how much damage I have from Joe, and I like the fact that my 1/2 has lethal.
listen, if you decide to, instead of playing the spinner, right, hear me out. If you
Yeah.
decide to develop Haunting Spirit,
Yeah.
You might be trying to set up a lethal for the next turn.
Yeah.
Because you're going to take somebody down to 20 here if the initiate had come down. All right, looks like we're going to be a little more defensive.
The forest
Interesting.
will not suffer your presence.
Yeah, had the initiate come down, right, that would have been
Right.
5 extra damage on the board.
Yeah.
Haunting Spirit would have been 3, so you would have had 9, 13. Spirit would have been +3, and then Vigilante. Yeah, you could have had potentially lethal.
No great draws here from Karakondzhul. The most he can do this turn is take 3 damage off the board by awkwardly killing that Earthbound Spinner. It's the most control he can establish. Wow. So the rally hits the Underworld Vigilante. There's a sacrificing your own hunted spirit lethal option.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that need to go Trader-Joe's way.
Yeah.
There's also potential draws, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I think Karakondzhul might end up attacking here.
Yep.
And he does, because at the end of the day,
Wow. Okay.
all right, he's saying, I hope you can't do 20 to me. And if
He's
you're gonna,
one off. Like, he has to get super lucky to hit it.
yeah, if you're gonna try to set up a next turn lethal, Karakondzhul kind of in the same boat here, right?
Yeah.
He gets the Haunting Spirit over there, so he can maybe sacrifice that, or the Sower post attack. That's worth 5.
Yep. And you can sacrifice with the Nord Firebrand, push another 2 with the Arcane Captain over there.
Yes, there's a lot of damage on Karakondzhul's
This
side
game
of the board.
is almost over.
We are coming down to the wire in Game 5.
Yeah. Oh my god. So let's say Underworld Vigilante currently at 5 power, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's currently a 5-2.
Rally it up to 6.
Yeah, I think right now. Oh, interesting.
No, choosing not to take that line.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself that Traitor-Joe might have been considering playing another creature before
There's nowhere
attacking
they
to
can
increase your
hide.
chances of hitting it, but
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Chooses to draw, hits a Candlehearth Brawler. Not going to be a player in this turn.
not this turn, but it could matter a lot next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to assume we're going to see some series of attacks here, and then probably that Circle Initiate come down.
Join
Yep.
the circle. Should have been more
Okay.
wood. My destiny.
Flips Veteran Forerunner. Oh my god. Veteran Forerunner, Cleric of Kind, 1, 2,
Bless
5,
us, kind.
10.
May we serve you
North
with
Fire.
I gotta be
every
honest,
word.
I'm still a little bit in shock that, I mean, it was a 33% chance,
Yeah.
so maybe that's why he opted to not do it, but there
Right.
was a shot at lethal.
Yeah.
There's
There
a part of
definitely was.
me that wonders if maybe swinging with your lethal creature first,
Right.
just to see where the rally landed.
Okay, Orc Clan Captain comes down. This is for lethal.
Oh, this is a big time prophecy, but
lethal.
it is not the right
It's not
kind.
the right prophecy.
Karakondzhul is just,
Haunting Spirit.
and he hits it. That's
Play
it.
Veteran Forerunner.
Well, you got Nord Firebrand as well.
I know, but it's cooler this way. Unless something goes dramatically wrong here. I don't think Traitor-Joe has prophecies out of this. Morkel Gatekeeper? Oh my god, it's Morkel Gatekeeper!
My God, but it doesn't matter because Karakondzhul rightfully didn't play the Veteran Forerunner.
Oh, but it would have been so cool. He would have lost the tournament, I guess, but...
I know.
Oh my
This
god, and
trade
then
here,
Nord Firebrand.
Firebrand finishes it.
Yep.
What?
Wow.
What a sequence
Oh
of
my
events.
god, both players back and forth, hearts probably pounding. Karakondzhul. Reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe he just fell asleep for those first two games and then remembered what it was like to win 3 in a row.
He was so impressed by Santos Velas' performance last week.
He had
He's
to
like,
one-up him.
I can do this. I can make it look really good too.
Congratulations,
Wow.
Karakondzhul. I mean, certainly well-deserved.
Absolutely.
Fantastic play all day.
Absolutely. This was an epic series,
Whew.
an epic performance by Karakondzhul this entire tournament.
Yeah. Wow. Like, you hit the prophecy.
I know.
Had exactly the right
know.
cards to answer it.
And didn't take my flashy advice, and as a result was able to win the tournament. That's the sort of thing that I love seeing.
Yeah.
my
Traitor-Joe still going to QuakeCon,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Performed very, very well today.
Incredible player, gonna have a shot at that $50,000. Let's take a quick look at our bracket so we know exactly what happened today, because right now my brain is leaking a little bit after that couple of prophecies. So we started off with Shinestorm and Keletis. This is Keletis, been playing for a few weeks. Shinestorm playing robots. That went to the robot guy.
Yeah, and we went down to the wire, too.
Right.
Then we had Traitor-Joe beating Thuldir 3-1.
Right.
Traitor-Joe was kind of putting on a clinic that time.
Absolutely. Kassedin narrowly defeated River Yowie off camera, and Inez fell in Karakondzhul's beginning of his reign of terror that began today.
Yeah, and that continued to the next round where Karakondzhul swept Kassedin as well. 3-0, not even dropping a loss. Meanwhile, Traitor-Joe, took it to the robots.
This has been incredibly impressive. I'm sorry, I was listening to something into my ear. Please continue your lecture.
No, you're fine. Traitor-Joe knocking out the robots. Then when we went
Yes.
to the battle for third place, Kassedin took that series from Shinestorm, but Shinestorm should have enough points
Right.
to still earn a spot at QuakeCon.
Well, let's take a look at those standings, actually, so we know exactly what we're working with moving forward. Here's where we are at right now.
Yeah.
We have our 12 qualified top 3 finishers from every one of these tournaments. Person of Secrets. I Like Pasta. Please Don't Hack Me. Endozoa. Dust. Volchanok. Santos Vela. Burn the Sky. Turquoise Link. Karakondzhul. Traitor-Joe. And Kassedin all made it based on their top 3 finishes.
That's right. Fierce Infinity, after very, very consistent play,
Yes.
is going to earn a spot on point.
Yes.
Shinestorm, because of that,
Mhm.
4th place finish.
Right.
Leapfrogs are people at 9 points.
Leapfrog's Frogger, ironically.
Yeah. Leapfroggers.
And then sometime in the next week, we're going to have a playoff match
That is correct. So on screen you see Frogger, you see Mazaboom.
Yes.
TDC Jason is the third wheel in this that is not shown on screen. Multiple top 8 finishes though, has 9 points as well. So 2 of those 3 will be going to QuakeCon. Somebody out of Frogger, Mazaboom, and TDC Jason will be going home.
And if you want to know who the last guys coming to QuakeCon are going to be as a result of these special qualifying rounds, these special tiebreaker rounds, follow us on social media, follow the Elder Scrolls Legends subreddit. This information will be out there the minute it's available. I promise you, I am as excited as you are to know who's going to be at QuakeCon competing in that last spot.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of you know, a certain basketball tournament where there are some play-ins before the big thing. That's
absolutely.
We're gonna get our own version of that here.
Look, I gotta say one last thing, man. This has been an absolute blast watching these qualifiers happen. We're gonna be having another great time at QuakeCon. I think we should close this out with the robot.
But they didn't win. So
I don't care. I'm doing it.
You can do the robot. Do you feel better now?
All right, guys. We will see you all at QuakeCon.
We love you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.